All right, what do we have here? Most meta composition for Fnatic, so pretty much like this, and then the Reyna.
Playing their own games, but also
so Fnatic typically how they played. I really like the fact that. Oh wait, never mind. They play on attack first. Fuck it. All right, I'll explain how they play tactically on defense later on. Because typically Fnatic on defense had a retake wall on A. Sova plays A. For retake, Mystic. No, who plays here? Yeah, Mystic plays Viper on B with a orb on default to stop the plant, and 3 players are pushing mid. This is how they typically play on pistol round. I wonder if they will play it this way on defense as well, but we'll see.
Well, sticking to their guns.
All right, Fnatic. What's your attack look like?
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's the Sage Wall.
Yes, and it's another fight. This one going in favor of Fnatic as Dome.
Man, like Latin and Brazilian teams are something else, man. You can literally just put $1 every time. If I would have had $1 every time and a Latam or Brazilian team would have been aggressive on defense, I would have like $121 right now.
Comes up big with 2 there. I love that aggression early on, but Fnatic, right? Like, this is kind of, I don't want to go back to, well, I guess I do, technically. Want to go back to Haven because that felt like the pressure that they were expecting, the aggression they were expecting the entire time. It didn't come. This time it comes, and Fnatic weather it just fine.
We saw Fnatic doing a bit of that Sage Wall as well in their game. Oh, trade for trade, Doug. 3v1 though. Mazino's tough times.
Right, and Magnum has armor. I mean, he's getting closer, but now he's got 7 HP.
There's no way Fnatic loses this, right?
Like continuing to tick away. Boaster has shock darts. He has health. He has time. Mazino.
Oh, he missed the jump. Unlucky.
One leg.
Well, almost catches the timing. That shock dart misses. The second one does as well. Flies right by his face. And so do Magnum's bullets.
Dude, it's just as a player too. You're like, oh, that was the play. Oh,
They kind of need Reyna because it's Kazin and his only agent he plays. He literally played Raze on Split. I mean, I would have been actually saying, oh, nice. Raze on Icebox. Pretty cool. Very fun because it allows you to have more mobility and more utility on the map. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Adds another layer to
happening there
on post-plant as well.
Good job at actually being able to
He plays Breach and Fracture? Yeah. So what are we talking about?
Fnatic knew what he was trying to do and played it really smart for the defense there.
He doesn't have to play Reyna. He wants to play Reyna. And I do believe it's a big fucking problem. They wouldn't like rewind to Haven. If Fnatic wouldn't have fucked it up very badly, they would have not won that map. I'm not saying that KRU is playing bad or something. They actually played very well on the fundamental level. They made good decisions on like being the aggressor in many situations. But the reason they win that map is because they exploit the mistakes done by Fnatic, not because they play better strategically, like micro strategy, because they have better composition or something. They just play well together.
We are 1 round towards Fnatic. The Marshal gets picked up by Durka, but as well as Nagzat. Let's see if these two meet, and they are geared to. I expect the drone be coming around that corner first with Durka.
Yo, Taco.
Taco with a K. So I'm guessing you're not a product that you can eat. Thank you very much, Mr. Taco, and welcome to the family. If you could introduce yourself, that'd be absolutely amazing, my bro. How are you doing?
Donkey Reyna. You don't need utility when you play Reyna, literally make 2 ace in the same game and still lose the map.
Fnatic leaning towards B. The Marshal. Oh. That wall going to deny and delay this fight for just a moment. You see the dash away. Durka not able to hit the moving target. And they reset.
That's a big stack.
At least for now, you still have some room that you may be able to find with this Marshall, but the thing is, exits there, great
Wait, that arrow fucked. He didn't discover the sage.
shot out from Durka.
Doesn't matter.
My goodness, man, he's back.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
Tagging him left and right. Another one yellow. Do they know it though? He's gonna take a few shots. Turns around. What? Lands on that. I think he was still accepting the kind of jolt you get from landing. Still makes the shot.
Yo.
Sunflower, thank you very much for the sub. 2 months now. Welcome back, my friend. Thank you very much for the ongoing support, Borowski.
And now Klaus trying to force to rotate through kitchen here, grabs a bite to eat, but is
It's my first time here in your content, and let me gain a lot of knowledge. Thank you for the amazing content. I am from Malaysia. In depth. Thank you for the amazing in depth content. I really appreciate you you trying to speak not in modern language. Like you make like I'm gonna tell you just because I would like to be in the same position. I really like when people try to speak in English, even though when they make some mistakes, because you can learn from this. So what you said right now is like, Mr. Lotta, it's my first time here, and your content, and you say you let me gain a lot of knowledge. You say it allowed me to gain a lot of knowledge. An example, right? Thank you for amazing in-depth like VOD analysis. I'm from Malaysia. I'd really like when people just break those barriers and try to get out of the comfort zone. Really love that, man. Good luck.
And another one. Yo, Resilient Rick, thank you man for the Prime Gaming, my friend. And welcome to the family. The same question to you, if you could introduce yourself, my friend.
probably not going to be able to do too much.
I'm Sen, and I'm a college student in the US. Welcome,
A
broski.
little armor, never hurts.
Yeah.
Take it off.
Sure.
Guys, the only way you can learn a different language is by using it. So just use it as much as possible and try to learn from people who are telling you what you could have said an example differently or better, you know?
Take what you can.
Quick question, what do you think is better than white cross or dot? There's no better, this is just preference.
Durka had taken a few shots there from going through, but I'll take a third round Blade Storm. That's what Durka's saying. And
I think one big mistake is that Durka pushes in crucial rounds like 12-12 and dies.
Yeah.
What, in Haven? Yeah, well, it was a mistake, but it's not what loses them the game.
That's a really a great sign if you're a fan of.
He could have also dashed away, but it's still, like, again, Durka, I can remember a single mistake by Durka during that entire match, apart from the 13-13 round.
That's the other thing about a single duelist, Riv. That's the other thing about a single duelist is...
I'm from Germany, currently in Diamond. My occupation is consulting in data science. Ooh. We have a lot of IT subscribers, because typically you guys were watching the stream while working.
right, it didn't on Haven. That's what Baller
I don't think an example is correct. I think the correct way to say is, for example, is it? Because that in example comes from my mother language. That's how we say in Polish. And I have to like... I have to change that if I'm making a mistake. Mr. Native Speakers, for example. All right, thank you. I'm learning. It's actually very important because I use this a lot. So, okay, instead of in example, we say for example.
And he do it still on second half for the crew. Find him out once again.
It's for example, but abbreviated is as IE. What? Okay, so I remember the IE, and I always was saying in example because that's the acronym for it, right? Why is the acronym then? Oh, it's from Latin. It est. Okay. Okay, that explains. But why the Americans are using Latin then? They don't give a fuck about Latin.
Nags knows the
That's not Freedom Dictionary, you know?
Jet v Jet action is here at A, and Blade Storm's out, so not so much of a peak from him anymore. What an early round to have Blade Storm on. Only have to buy up for the bonus of Sheriff. They're going to have decent money if they can still get a few frags here too.
Well, but I really like this out from Fnatic because they have the tools that are needed in the Blade Storm and in the Bulldog to make this more of an even fight.
IE is not, for example.
Vandals and Phantoms against Spectres, right?
Okay.
That often doesn't go your way. But for them to be able to kind of equalize things a bit off of those two weapons, but they've got to be successful. And Durka's Bladestorm finds none.
Plant walls down. There it goes here. Into Doma. The team set up a bit of...
This is my favorite plant here that we can do on this map. The easiest one and the most efficient one. Any Sage players in the chat? You want to learn something? Something that I teach almost every single Sage that I play with. So when you want to plant the spike, but you're blinded, you're in a smoke. Where's Sage? Here. You can do this wall while completely not seeing shit. Okay? You can use this wall but completely not seeing shit. Let's say you are... There's a Viper pit, or like... There's a Viper pit here. You can't see shit or anything, right? Or there's a Viper smoke, whatever. You can still use this wall very simply by standing in this corner and straight look in this direction. And that's it. And that's it. That's how you do this wall. You don't have to do anything. Just stand in this corner and look straight into this direction. Like here. And that's it.
Defense already. Flank is being watched by Mystic.
Shocker comes through the res onto Durka as well, but Kesnit just is able to mow them down. They're sitting ducks. They can't find any room to breathe, as Kesnit says.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, good thing he's a Reyna. He really used the utility to its full extent, man. But not gonna lie, that was some crazy shots.
Flank is being watched by Mystic.
But what is Boaster doing, man?
The team set up a bit of a defense already.
Why is he trying to shock dart? What? He's probably calling something.
Mystic.
And he's being caught off guard.
Shocker comes through the res onto Durka as well, but Kesnit just is able to mow them down. They're sitting ducks. They can't find any room to breathe, as Kesnit says.
That is some crazy shots, though.
Baby, I did.
Oh, locking it up so nicely by Kesnit. That's going to be the ace coming through. Yes, they are on the Champions round 3 there. And KRU feels good about that. So Kesnit already online. First map seems to be flowing through for him, and he is not ebbing on this one. He just keeps taking the shots, and rightfully so, as he should. If you are feeling confident, you know you're up against Spectres.
Crazy shit, man.
They're going to keep peeking you. Take the shots.
Shoot or shoot, bro.
Shoot, shoot. That's it.
Shooters, shoot. And now off of this...
Reyna healed 40 HP, see Reyna mad it.
Able to buy up. Right
Yep.
now they're in a bit of a better spot. Durka has that operator.
Yep.
We'll see.
Early blade.
Because he's a Reyna, he has the confidence of fighting there, because he knows he can just dismiss away. That is a valid point.
Else can deal with it. Oh, that's a great way to deal with it. Just don't give him a chance to shoot.
But I can guarantee you that he would have the same thing. He would have done the same thing with a Jet or with a Raze. Because the team was retaking. There's no point in hiding. He had to, like, just fight there, you know?
Yeah, a lot of teams will see actually have the Sage Viper there, slow or just a pit. Say, hey, no early rush. We don't want to deal with anything right away. And that one stops Durka from being able to get a first hard angle with the operator. Drone's going to go through mid.
Also, you would definitely not dash away when your opponent is giving you free kills with the rest, right?
Clear past this smoke. I think actually Mystic just dropped that, so they get a little bit more vision behind.
Nah, guys, please. Reyna is shit.
They
End of
did
discussion.
see Mystic down in spawn, so they know a bit of the rotations towards B. That's why we have...
She's only played right now because teams are just adamant of not improving, but it's not going to be enough
this
next year.
from KRU.
You see Magnum on your minimap still hasn't left. Back A.
What is meta composition for Icebox at the moment, in your opinion? This one. This is the meta composition for Icebox right now. And if you don't want to play Killjoy, then next meta composition, that will be like, you know, because this is like the most simple one that you can play. This is like those are like the most two basic compositions on Icebox. The one from Fnatic is the most meta because they don't play Reyna but play Killjoy, which is synergizes very well with Viper. And then you have the other one, which is the Reyna. And then once we go into the next year, Reyna, if you want to play this next iteration of this composition, then you need to play Chamber instead of Reyna here. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, have a little bit more freedom to take fights, and you don't want to play Killjoy, then you play Chamber here. There will be no excuse of playing Reyna next year. On pro level, I mean. Wall from Delzik to not allowed to plant, right? Because it's a wall that blocks off the passage to the site.
In spawn, waiting to see if someone's going to push forward. The spike hasn't made its way out yet, and I'm not fully convinced that they want to do this yet, Riv.
Cheeky. Delzik put his wall up, and they're like, wait a minute. I don't know if I like that or not. Aside of Fnatic, they're kind of...
Reyna's flashes are not value at all. They're just the most shit utility in the game.
Right away so they can get a vision of what it is, and now have a bit of encroachment
Nice arrow.
onto that spike.
It lands... This arrow lands here on this... here, on this spot, on the doorway, that kind of like discovers this area, this area, this area here, like this. And this, if I'm not mistaken. Like, this is the arrow. Steam Beacon's definitely worse. Sorry, I misspoke. This is the worst blinding / flashing ability in the game.
Spike plant spot.
Oh, that was tempting.
There you go.
Oh, that was tempting. Doma gets the spike down. You still have Magnum back
Magnum just fights, holy shit.
towards A while the rest of the action happens on B. It's already the opener for Doma. As Dirk is able to get one as well with that operator looking for a bit more. Oh, the leer in his face! Not able to land the shot, but Doma does. 2 Vandals left on the side of KRU.
4 versus 2. Literally no reason to fight. This is why we see passive angles now. Well, can also miss.
Empress online.
And Nags is coming through mid. He just dropped Magnum on the way over.
Nags on the tap. See if anyone swings out. Anyone has the balls to bait it, but Doma gets the third. A 1v2.
Oh, that's about it.
That was it. That kill. That was the decider. He can't fight this.
Too many angles on
Yoru Flash? Yoru Flash is one of the best flashes in the game.
And it is going to have to be a backup. The Vandal is
Ooh,
saved
Doma
there by
dies.
Nags. Doma
Unlucky.
going down in the situation. And that'll actually help KRU just a little bit with what Fnatic has to deal with. Okay, Boaster grabbed that. I was like, wait, did he grab him all the way around? Because I was watching the mini-map for a second.
Think we'll see a Phoenix buff soon? I don't think we need that. But we'll see.
The frags. Dirk is still right behind him there. Fnatic at 3-1 as they squeak another one in with that round.
That operator, as you mentioned, still carries into this next round.
Big pickup.
Durka with it. Perhaps a challenge towards B long again. KRU defensively. I mean, it's early, and they have found some
Aggressive Sage Wall by Delzik.
but not a ton. And it really, the success that they have found as far as frags
Okay.
go have been off of playing around the Sage Wall to get
Isn't Phoenix ulti underrated? Phoenix ulti is one of the best ultis in the game.
into a better position. But
I mean, in general, Phoenix is just pretty good. It just doesn't fill the blanks. But, you know, funny enough, I do think that Phoenix would probably be still a better choice for Icebox than Reyna, but barely. Because it's so hard to use the flashes effectively on this map. But that's about it. But you get like more utility to check corners, you get more utility to like block off some angles and so on. But the problem is that on this map the Phoenix flashes are kinda useless. But his ultimate would have been nuts. And it's also a 6 charger. So if you have the plan to fight for long B orbs like in the beginning of the round every time, it would be actually pretty nice.
Starting the Spectre and Sage Wall was the last pennies in his pocket, but he still goes for a forward play. Love to see it. Fnatic plays that safe though, and they're more according towards A at this point. As the drone comes out here, they'll get a bit of information. They don't have too many ults up to use. But I think this will just be Fnatic playing the elevation on the way in.
And I think that play from Delzik is kind of what you were alluding to earlier, right? Like it's this swagger with which they play and aggression regardless of what the setup is. They like to fight. We saw it from X10. We're seeing it from KRU as well. Regardless of what the setup is, they like to fight. We saw it from X10.
Oh, well, that's awkward. That is really awkward. And this position here is allowed only because there's this lack of some... I don't know, man. Like, Doma goes in, but it's pretty obvious that he doesn't see the contact here because of the wall. So Bosa just going in and not checking this, I think this is a very big problem right here. Look. He just goes in, man, without looking left. And he's looking into a wall. He's not checking side anyway.
From X10, we're seeing it from KRU.
That is pretty awkward.
And it seems to be working. The most terrifying thing about an opponent is someone who has nothing to fear. And KRU play with that in mind. Reckless, seemingly reckless.
And that becomes such a difficult situation. We see that a lot where Fnatic did everything. They used the util, drone went over top, but there was then a separation of 5 to 10 seconds after they saw things on the drone. Anybody is anywhere in the site now, and once the gas drops, they don't have all the angles cleared anymore from the drone. KRU take that one nicely to make it 5v2.
Yeah, and Fnatic can't get to the spike.
I don't like this Viper wall. This Viper wall has a very specific, very specific task. It's just for retakes and stopping the push in the first place. That's about it. It's a pretty good wall. There are essentially two different walls I can do here. Well, one is this, and there are slight variations, like here. I mean, sorry, like here, here, right? And then the other ones are like this, and like small variations of this wall, essentially.
Dome, a Magnum, just pistols. It's Fnatic playing this a bit more carefully, seemingly expecting a aggression.
Isn't the Viper wall fault as well for putting that wall? What do you mean? That was defenders' wall, not attackers.
Again, you see they're not moving up very far at all.
How about a Raze as a replacement for Jet or Raze and Icebox? Is it okay? I'm guessing you mean Reyna. Yes. Yes. I would definitely like to see Raze instead of Reyna.
Playing the beginning of the round a bit slower. Now they move their way towards A, up towards 410.
And KRU replicated the Sage wall at B.
Yep.
Pushed up on. Delzik trying to get an opening frag. And Mazzino clears one. They definitely didn't see Mystic, though. Mystic could have a push towards mid.
Durka, the opener with the operator. Remember, this is...
One thing about this wall is it allows for aggressive mid control. Yeah, but that's not the main reason why you do this wall. It's like an positive outcome of it, but you barely use it. Because you don't have the mid control anyway because of the smoke next to the pipe anyway. And yes, I do think Jet is overshadowing every other agent because she's just straight up broken. And she's broken because she is irreplaceable on attack. You don't have a single other character that can be so fast on site while checking corners. It's just absolutely broken. Wait, did I say Tech Bar?
Yo, Tech Bar, thank you much for the 2 months and welcome back, my friend. Thank you much for the ongoing support, bro.
Just a really weird mixed vibe. The two guns that Fnatic had other than pistols are the ones that get them the openers. Nagzet's got to come up big here. Dome is in his lap.
A little bit of a one-way. Tries to catch this as he can get himself out. Dome will still want with a Sheriff. Why not try to take the shot and grab a Vandal in a 1v1?
Unnecessary fight.
Magnum
oh my god.
Durka's able to land it with the operator. A 3v2 and they've been upgraded weapons. Boaster has one as well. It's not just a pistol anymore.
What a turnaround, Doug. Oh, wait.
30 seconds
I was gonna say they had
will the Jet meta ever end, or will it just end when bans come out?
Able to trade a frag there.
The Jet would have to be insanely nerfed for it to end, but like insanely nerfed. And the thing is that you cannot do another agent that mimics what Jet does, because then they're both gonna be picked 100% of the times.
Yeah, Boaster should be able to do so with a second or two to spare. And Mystic wise to it. Yeah, the problem with Kez, actually there were a myriad of problems there for Kesnet. One of them, he was outnumbered. Number two, he had no idea where they were. It was just
taking the fall to find that one was really near him until they backed up. 4-2. It does not look like B will be the push play because it is going to be the Klaus Viper pit right away.
Yeah, and you can see, right?
So, this is finally a good setup that I see. Look. Finally a good setup. It's always what I pay attention to. The Viper went at the beginning of the round, sets up a retake wall on A, then goes B, and insta-ults. Finally some good shit. And because of that, this is called funneling. So essentially, the forces from B are gonna be afraid of going into the Viper spit because it's a death sentence. So you go back and you try to attack either mid or A. And because of that, you bolster the defenses by using the Viper wall. And the only problem is that if any of the players on mid are inting, then this Viper wall, this Viper util will be useless. So let's just hope that Naxit doesn't int and just plays it safe or just goes away after getting one kill. But if any of those players on mid die, then they're fucked. Then this Viper is useless. But if those players are alive and just playing defensively, then this Viper does a job.
Like they're rotating away. Naxit might get the opening if they go rotate mid. Yeah, he's made his way all the way down two. You've got the drone as well. The tag! The timing wasn't there and Mystic was waiting for it. What a shot.
Wow, read like a book, Doug.
Yeah, Mazzino tried going in.
And now the Viper player thinks, I play with assholes. My entire setup is worthless. I did this for them, and they didn't do it, and they didn't use it.
As well, gets dropped at the hands of Doma. Well played out from Fnatic. Hasn't it? Hasn't it? You bad man. Op drops.
Oh, little audio cue plays. Really smartly done to walk up to the wall and not think he just needs to shoot it to create pressure. Now a 4v3. Viper Spit still there, and they know Klaus will be working out of that. Still, it's going to be a Fnatic plant B.
I come from a game called Rainbow Six Siege, where arguably one of its biggest problems is the number of characters that Ubisoft have introduced. Do you think Riot will be able to overcome this issue? Can you put more context into it? How often do you guys get new characters, and how many characters do you have?
And what I love is that understanding that the Viper Spit was down B long, they still wanted to go B, right? Like they still made their way through, and it was while exploiting mid. That was the way that they found themselves onto the site. They have numbers advantage now. It's just Klaus and Delzik left. And that might be enough. Delzik's going to heal himself up. There's somebody right on this 50. Magnum knows exactly where he is. Boaster. Doma clean things up at the end. A little dicey, but it works. Fnatic gets a 5.
Yeah, it seems like Fnatic is starting to read the way to break KRU down. A few people here take the fight, know that KRU is going to push, and I think this is what we saw Fnatic trying to do on Haven at first. They'd stay back, they'd wait for KRU, and KRU would not come to them. KRU stayed back on their own doorstep. Now KRU is getting a little bit more hyphy. They want to push forward, and it's starting to cost them.
And off of that,
did you leave G2? No, I did not.
Indeed.
For KRU, and you see going into this next round, it's just pistols. They don't have much to work with financially. So we'll see how they choose to approach this. Rav, I think you touched on a very interesting point, and it's the aggression with which KRU are starting to play more of, right? Like you called it hyphy, antsy, whatever it is. But you can
this is the 90s.
Yeah, you can tell like they're getting a little itchy.
A teenager discotheque. And they're like, oh, you're also into Pokemon TCGs? It's fantastic. Do you watch Dragon Ball by any chance?
Dome, I believe, mid, who were just kind of waiting for it. They were ready for it. Mystic.
In 11 and 2, you say, hey, we're learning how Fnatic plays these. It's whether they can adapt and then start taking Fnatic down is where it matters.
Interesting setup here from KRU. 2 marshals. They're both on A.
5 ultimates from Fnatic against the low buy.
And Klaus and Kesnet. You can tell with that, Kesnet wants to get an aggressive spot. Bladestorm duel, and Durka wins that one out. Naxit falls.
Another first blood for Durka. Is going to go forward with the drone. A bit of safety there. Cleared Viper Pit on the left side, so anybody would have swung it. They're taking away the angle.
Riot is taking creation of characters slowly. For this year created 3 characters. Wait, is that true? There should be a new... there should be a new character every 2 months.
He needs to worry about as he just flies forward. It's great teamwork with
one was delayed, but what? Wait, that is not true. How many new agents did we get introduced in this year? I feel like it's like at least 4. I think it's 5.
And they really have everything they want. They have 5 ultimates. Make that 4. As Kesnet's able to take care of Durka, but he comes right back. The res was there. It's a good setup by Fnatic, and it's an excellent start to the round. And yes, KRU,
Yoru, Astra, KO, Chamber. So that's 4.
It's all going to be on Klaus now. He's just now arriving to the party.
Durka's getting
seems healthy
with the knives now. Klaus on the back here with a Marshall. Maybe one, maybe two. No, he gets taken down by Mystic, and the ults are just mounting as well.
Where Fnatic has the choke problem, in your opinion? With C9 on Fracture couldn't close 5 rounds with Crew and Haven 3 rounds? I mean, I explained it very thoroughly while doing the VOD review of Haven just before this map, so I cannot really just say it in one sentence. So just, I recommend to rewatching the segment that I did on Haven.
So they're just really able to bolster themselves.
Oh, Mr. Lotta, hey Taco. I want to learn how the game which agent benefited the most. I found out I had developed bad habits while playing Jett and Reyna. To be honest, I enjoy lurking and playing smokes too. I mean, if you would definitely learn bad habits when playing Jett and Reyna, because those are the asshole agents that have get out of the jail for free cards. If you want to learn the game more fundamentally, I would suggest to maybe start playing Sentinels, like Cypher, Killjoy, maybe Sova a little bit, you know. But it's hard to say anything like that because it really depends on how you want to play the game and what is your focus on learning. There's not really a simple advice, but if you want to get better at the game, I can definitely tell you one thing. If you're not already like Immortal 1, 2, 3, then most likely the thing that lacks the most from your side is the aim. So you should probably like work on that, because in this game, in current state of our community, the ranks are only decided by the quality of your aim. And you can get to Immortal 3 by being a dumb fuck with fantastic aim. So it's way easier to improve your basic game knowledge by just playing the game a lot, but improving your aim mechanically is like most beneficial.
People outside doing Snow Angels. It's a glorious time.
The game has been out for 6 years, and I think we're going over 60 characters. They started with 2 new characters per season. I think they switched to 1 now. I get the feeling that Ubisoft really feels the need to put out more content to keep the player base satisfied. Achoo! Achoo!
Better for an ascent or a
6 years, 60 characters.
Durka with the op working his way.
What the fuck is happening here on the broadcast, by the way? Why are we watching this?
Something we haven't seen for a few rounds. Plague Durka.
That's some trolling by the production, man. Good thing we at least see one monitor.
Open this one up. Map slowed down as Fnatic are again in that receive crew mode. Where are crew going to push from? Let's take a moment. They trade mid. Yes, they trade mid. Not even trade mid. They take mid. Magnum with a shot on Vizino.
And off of this, I wonder.
Guess it was just the best they had while they fixed something. I mean, shit happens, man. This is like the first technical issue I actually see on the broadcast. So, you know, the worst thing about broadcasts and observing and like stage work is that when everything is working flawlessly, everyone takes it for granted and no one fucking compliments anything. But when someone fucks up or they try to cover something that is being fucked up, then everyone is like, oh, trash broadcast, man! Fuck. You should guys appreciate what we have, because it's actually insanely good quality.
Very similar to,
it's like the same when you play in a music band and you play on the bass guitar, you know? Like, no one gives a fuck about the basses unless you're Flea in Red Hot Chili Peppers and you're suddenly like acting like a clown in front of everyone just to make sure that everyone sees that you actually play in the band. But if you actually play on a bass, typically, no one gives a fuck about you unless you stop playing. Then everyone suddenly realizes, wait, why is the music sounding like shit now?
The Viper spit setup that they had a couple of rounds ago, but this time it's the operator in the hands of Naxit that you have to deal with, and that's far more mobile than the ultimate from Viper. Speaking of the Viper ultimate, Mystic drops his, but the rotation's already here.
The kitchen Viper ult.
It's the same in the stage production, and I do the tech for theater, and no one cares unless something fails? Yep. It's always the same shit.
That makes things a little tighter here for Fnatic to make this work.
Doma has to take
and the worst thing is that the better quality of work you do, the more expectations are there for you. So if you do fantastically, and then suddenly something just small fucks up, you're still gonna get the same shit, like if you would just have the overall quality of your broadcast lower.
Operator. He's got to be able to take care of Naxit. The Hunter's Fury coming out. It's not going to tag up onto anyone quite yet.
Great fake plant.
Oh, there it is. The upper shot was there. He's able to get away, or he is able to drop. The operator falls. That should give them a bit more room to work with.
Okay, well, maybe let's skip it.
It's going to be possibly can. And as we're talking about marshals and weapons of the such, you still have Durka with that operator. Boaster's going to have his Hunter's Fury to work with as well.
Yeah.
And the stack of ultimates.
Thank you. To be honest, I just want to have fun and don't want to be an asshole just spamming Jet and Reyna. Just focus then on having fun, man. But try to have fun while playing with your teammates.
Cheeky little plant that got Mazzino.
Oh!
Durka.
Nice.
This time he was like, I don't care if you're going to poison it or slow it or do whatever. I'm still peeking, and he does. They do not thwart him that time. Mazzino answers back nicely, as it is going to be this Sheriff Marshall round, as you said. 1-for-1 trade seems to slow the tempo of Fnatic down.
We'll see how much more success Nagzit can find here.
Uh-oh.
Did Durka spot him?
I saw you. Yeah, that's for sure a call that just came out. Surprised to see no crew members feeling
They moved, by the way, the weapon, so no one gets it from mid.
confident enough to push out A. I understand Fnatic always watching the flank, but they aren't grabbing the information there. They're kind of just waiting, wondering, allowing Fnatic to attack, and it does not seem to be favoring them. Fnatic attacks again, and Durka comes up for the frag.
That operator continuing to cause problems for the Latin American squad. Ooh, Nagzet.
This is like one of those rounds where nothing really happens. Like, it's just, you know, they play low buy.
Oh, Molly's come over.
Durka just tries to get peeks and abuse the fact that no one has any real gun. So
play, and Durka's classic.
pad those stats, my friend. Pad those stats.
Kills at the end. Derek, he can hold
On each round, like crew is trying to react.
So far, this is actually every round feels very similar here.
Active can be a vibe, but if you're always
Like,
playing react,
Crew just tries to be a little bit aggressive on the defense, and which is actually biting them back by so much. Like, most notably that Viper round with the ultimate. Like, if I would have been a Viper in that team, I would have been furious. I mean, not during the game, but after the game, during a VOD review, I would be like furious about that, because this shit happens over and over again. I can already tell you that Crew has the same issue whenever they play Viper. This issue will be persistent.
on each round, like crew is trying to answer everything from Fnatic. It becomes too tough. Some of that has to be preventative. You have to be finding out.
They tried to retake the mid control with the drone, but that fails.
In these rounds, because they're able to run amok here. They're just doing whatever they want, and crew is having to react to all of that at once.
There's a lot of like sacrifices made right here. This is why I really don't like playing two players on B. Like, what do you see here? There's a lot of concentration of the defense on this small place, right? And then when you think about it, look, this entire here, this is completely open. Like, shit can happen here. Shit can happen in mid, and the defenders have no control over it. Why? Because they play right now. They don't have a Killjoy. In the future, they will not have a chamber. They don't have a Cypher. They have no one to control this.
That space taken. It's a great start to this round 11.
And this is what allows right now Fnatic to take this ground for free and get this kill. Zero effort. Zero effort done.
And they take away that start. Durka says thank you.
Is aim lab the best way to improve aim, or do you think there's other way? I would say any practice is good practice. If you want to be like super efficient, then yes, aim lab and deathmatch will be the best, most likely.
Durka's able to land a second. I don't know how he landed that shot either. He was like down below him, working his way forward. The man's not done. He has to dash away. A great dart. Grab some info. Mazzino realizing that everyone is there.
Spike down B.
Ooh, he gets tagged.
Yeah, slight preventative measures or not, Fnatic just seems to have a read on this game.
Not the best smoke to help the planter, I would say. So when you're trying to plant, don't do the smoke. Look, I'll explain why.
Slight preventative measures or not, Fnatic.
When your teammate wants to plant, look, he wanted to plant here, right? So this smoke allows someone to peek through here into the smoke and spam directly into the position of the player. So when this smoke is up, you can't plant. But if this smoke is open, then no one can peek like this. So if you want to smoke this, guys, if you want to smoke this to help your teammate to plant, you need to do it one way. So aim the smoke somewhere here. Like, I don't even know how big this smoke is. So like probably somewhere here in this spot. So it ends like this. And people cannot peek through here and try to kill the planter.
seems to have a read on this game, Doug. They continue to pressure the site together. Their teamwork is impeccable. And
if KRU didn't improve this map, they would have won 2-0. Well, if Fnatic didn't improve the first map, they would have been 1-0 up and won this one 2-0. It's like, if a grandma had a mustache, she would have been a grandfather, you know?
Right, like this is their map pick. We know they're very good at it historically, so we expect it to go this well. But admittedly, or yeah, to be honest with you, Riv, like I kind of wanted to see the
Is Team Liquid doing something extra that other teams are not doing, or they're just lucky? Yes,
so good on
it's
Haven,
only
but
luck.
On Icebox, they've just looked lost.
Yeah, KRU is playing a timid game for sure. It seems like they're giving a little too much respect to Fnatic at this point, and I guess Durka's demanding it for sure. They cannot seem to catch his head more than he is finding theirs. Again, see these little peaks forced out. Just seeing that from Durka allowed Boaster to start ulting.
Yep, and the Hunter's Fury, and then Durka with the Blade Storm swinging out at the right time. The Guardian's there.
Guys, what I was explaining today already. Look at it.
Swinging out.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Just look what he has after he uses the dagger. Uh-oh. Shit, the 6th dagger is not throwable. Uh-oh. Imagine if he has a pistol equipped. There's an actual fighting chance to some degree.
Manages to stay alive for a little bit. Mystic takes care of Zeno.
Again, I'm nitpicking, but professional players should not have those bad habits. This is something that they should definitely work on, because we have seen CNET lose a duel because of that. Here, you would have died anyway, but it's still like you should min-max those habits.
Oh my word.
To deny vision, swings out, and again is met with all sorts of trouble. As all members of Fnatic are there.
Unlucky, he had 14 HP.
Klaus?
Damn, what the hell? Klaus had a double kill here there. That was nuts.
Dominant in this first half. 10-2, and Riv, I know I was just mentioning this, we expected it to go well, but this well?
Yeah. They have a run on the game. I don't
want to watch the matches live because your review is so much fun, so I don't watch it live. My friends, watch it live during this weekend because my next stream is going to be on Monday. So, yeah.
From site touch to site touch on Haven, Fnatic this time is just saying if Durka can open up. Durka.
Let's see how Fnatic is playing the pistol round. Differently than normally. Typically they pushed B, they pushed mid, and they played retake A. Different approach.
It's just giving them a little bit more oomph, it seems. Here, they're looking for it. They need your energy. KRU looks to bring this one to the limits. Durka says, oh no, not just yet, Jet.
Well, it was great for Fnatic, and then it wasn't great. Now it's unfortunately even, which makes defenders be at a disadvantage. Small, but still.
Jet action as they trade that.
Riv, they may need more than just energy to get their way out of this map. The thing, too, that's so troublesome here for KRU is Fnatic win this pistol.
Are you doing VOD reviews of all matches?
Right, we kind of
not a single, not every single one of them. The ones that I found, like, interesting. Would you ever take a coaching offer? It would have to be insanely well played.
But it's true. I mean,
insanely well paid. Like, I don't think that would make many. Like, I don't think that would make sense for any organization, because I would have to sacrifice my streaming career. I would have to sacrifice my casting career, and then it's like.
And the 1-for-1 trade slows things right down. KRU is going to be waltzing over here.
And I have a duelist confidence to be able to carry my team with someone like Reyna. What should I do?
And so they've lost both duelists, which is
then don't play that. If you don't have that confidence, don't play those characters that require that confidence.
Dropping early on is problematic, and then Nags at falling shortly thereafter just kind of doubles down on the situation that KRU find themselves in. So
look, in theory, I would love to be a coach for a team. But the reality is just that there's not enough pros and there's good enough amount of cons that make it not a viable option.
Outnumbered.
They have the util if they want to use it. Here, just causing a bit of ruckus.
Oh, the timing. Oh, the timing. He turns around at just the right time. He swings around for more.
Although the perception for the public reception would be actually pretty cool if I would have like an actual pro background. Like, if I would have been an actual pro, even for just few months for a team, that would definitely improve my public reception, right? People would be like, well, actually, Lothar was hired for, I don't know, for ABC team, and he was working as a pro, so maybe he knows something. And now everyone is just like, no, this guy's just talking straight out of his ass.
Gets a bit more than he bargained for. 3v2 here as the spike ticks away. Great shock dart out from Boasters. Klaus has just way too much to deal with. Mixic's going to get the defuse as well. Fnatic get to 11. Surely.
Hey, Marcus.
Right?
Did you try setting up your iPad for the VOD review? No, but I will try to do it during the weekend. So we have it for Monday.
It looks so good.
New to the stream, but a fan of your analyst work? Thank you, Crow. Welcome to the channel, broski.
Game point here. It's gonna beat the fourth.
Fun if the other team isn't expecting it.
So they plant it, so they will force it, so they go A. Like, this is typically what you're gonna see. On Icebox, if a team forces round 2 on attack, they typically gonna go A because the weapons on B are not really that great. You would have to play like 2 marshals or something. So if you want to abuse the SMGs, you go A.
Sometime.
Again, the same position, and Derek again gets the same peak. If he gets killed here, it's gonna be funny as hell. No, it's not.
It's been confirmed now. KRU looking to go fast.
And Fnatic's putting themselves right in
Oh
the
my
Yeah,
sights
dude.
here with KRU. It wasn't the
This
retake
is
for Fnatic this
why
time.
forcing on round 2 is always a good decision. You just brute force your way. KRU is playing fundamentally well. Those decisions, those basic decisions are just working for them, you know?
2v2, this is backbreaking. This is demoralizing KRU down to just Kesnet.
Well, but those decisions are not great.
Yeah, exactly, man. Even at the pinch.
It's 4v2. How is it going to 1v2? Wait. Nexit just straight up just ins.
Of that KRU side.
Yeah, exactly, man. Even at the pinch.
Straight up ins. Okay.
It's going to. There's still just so much. Exactly, man. Even at the pinch comes through, and it looks like it's going to. There's still just so much more than Mystic with a great start. Magnum does as well. It drops down to a 2v2. This is backbreaking. This is demoralizing KRU down to just.
I mean, they throw a 4v2 advantage. Like, you cannot say much about this.
Timing just right. There it is. He's able to get it to a 1v1. The dismiss.
Beautiful dismiss peak.
Yeah, Magnum.
If it's red, shoot him dead. If it's blue, it's not true.
Swings around. Kesnet takes care of things. He gets.
This is one time that the dismiss is actually very helpful. But this should have not come to a 1v2 situation. This should have been a 4v2. Just straight up that. That's it. 4v2 win.
I was so surprised to see Fnatic just trying to blast their way in there with KRU. Usually they have a few the utils there. Out.
You're opening things up.
Standard execute, arrow, fast.
aggressive.
Like the arrow is currently put the metagame. Like typically we have seen the arrow being put like on the edge of the wall, so it also discovers like sight. But this was easily destructible, so people starting putting the arrow on the wall, so people on pipes cannot play on pipes because no one can control the arrow from sight.
You hear the Lear opening things up. Fnatic.
And the slow from the attackers here helps to gain like a little bit of space at the beginning of the round, but as you can see, it's actually detrimental for a bit after that.
You've got Kesnet following the drone, gets the opener onto Durka, and this should be.
I would argue that if with any other agent in that position would have had a utility piece to help him with the 1v1 even more than a dismiss.
What is that spike drop?
Well, it depends, but probably.
Doesn't have too many, so they'll just start bolstering. If they can take a little bit of pressure with.
Not a single mistake.
Still have a few Spectres here from KRU, feeling like they can carry these over into the next rounds to really bolster the credits. As
again, the same execute.
Off the bat.
Curved wall on curved wall. Nice. I like seeing this. There's a curved wall here, which makes it tougher to stand on screens. I appreciate the small little details because that's really helpful.
They have 2 members on site. Give the space up. Fine. We're gonna play this out in a retake. You hear the Empress coming online. Spike going down, courtesy of Delzik. Wonder.
Headshot.
Fnatic oh
right
gosh,
on
it's
the
so good.
noggin.
But the spike
Got him.
just narrowly getting planted.
What a dart. Oh my word, that went in Delzik's ear.
I mean, yes, angled, not curved. My bad. Angled.
Utilities up. Nagzet drops Magnum. Oh.
Kesnet.
That was their own molly.
Lava, bro, you gotta move. Takes a little bit of damage to Hunter's Fury coming out as Klaus falls as well. 4v3
That
in
is
favor of Fnatic.
really
Goodness.
unfortunate This is really unfortunate timing for a reload, but there's not much to say about this. They just go in and kill them.
4v3 in favor of Fnatic. And
plants down onto the
it's not even just like
I think there's like
the opportunities
a lot of miscommunication from crew what is happening. Like, no one is holding any angles. They're just running around on site in chaos.
As we have seen people do
that was pretty weird.
But you aren't expecting that plane to go up there, so the shock dart that lands exactly where
that was pretty weird, man.
Have been effective.
Well, both are online.
There's no one there. They're not going to give him a chance.
That's just an early read, right? If there's Nags that has enough, he has Blade Storm, will not push those angles.
I will not be like delving on a lot of details right now because I have to finish the stream and this game is almost over, so I'm not gonna like explain too much stuff. Okay. The fuck was that?
That's another one under Durka, and the spike goes down. So crew have a great setup here. They've got numbers.
Can you unblock me on Twitter? What would I do that?
Kesnet has a great idea where Doma is as well, as he's gonna fall. A message sent. Maybe a bit froggy, a bit early on.
Kesnet behind enemy lines. Name a more iconic thing than we've seen in this series.
Is big Fnatic, they're still going to get a little bit of body shooting, a little bit of popping off across the stage, understanding that if they can get...
You got mad I proved you wrong and blocked me. Scared? Oh, okay. Well, I have an easier solution. I'll ban you here too. Because you act like an asshole.
They still have to worry.
I often say this, Riv, but if you're with pistols in a 1-for-1, yeah, you lose the Blade Storm, which doesn't feel great, but you take a rifle away. That's an excellent start. But Kesnet, I think he's 25 kills now.
Yeah. Take a rifle away, Kesnet takes a life away. There's another one for him.
Like, if someone acts like this, I already know that I don't want to have a contact with that person, and he probably wasn't banned for proving me wrong. He's just banned because of he's an asshole.
That Delzik was able to find previously in the rounds. 4K for Kes.
Start to get clean.
It has not letting the team fall at last, though, Doug. I mean, you've been saying it, and you really have to consider it. You can't perform that good every round, can you?
We're about to find out with crew. They've gotten to 6. They've made it respectable. But as you're saying, how much further can they take it?
Oh! That choke that was great, but a little bit too late from Boaster. It would have put him out of the drone. Like, that would have been great, man. I was a little bit too late, though.
Just isn't nearly as effective, right? You're looking for that pick on the attack on the site so you can work your way in, create some space, and take that. If you're playing retake, an exit doesn't get a shot to kill anybody.
Crew managed to grab 4 rounds on this second half.
They go slowly beam, but look, this is the difference between the composition from Fnatic and the composition from crew. Right now, they don't have to worry about controlling mid. They have all of this util, so they can play just whatever they want to. And now they look right here. They ult this site, and there's no way that crew just goes, "Oh yeah, let's plant into the Viper's ult." I mean, I think. Right? They should just go back after seeing this Viper ult and just fuck off. Unless they kill her.
Already from Mazzino and team, and they'll be able to meet only 2 members of Fnatic.
Oh boy.
No fucking way that's your play. There's absolutely no way that's how they play. And by the way, if someone wasn't watching my VOD reviews of Fnatic before, pay attention to this Alarma bot and the Nanoswarm. This is why they play this setup, because they plan to use this ultimate, so now the Viper doesn't have to hold this angle, and essentially it kills the people that are trying to flank her. Jesus, but this is planting inside of an opponent's Viper's pit. That's like the ballsiest of ballsiest plays, but also you can just lose very stupidly. So I really, really, really dislike this. Really dislike going into this. Like, probably should have just gone back to A, man. Because you have still 40 seconds. Your opponents just use a Viper's Pit. So they use an ultimate that you don't want to go into.
Find ourselves with dueling Viper's Pits again. And the lockdown coming through.
And a lockdown here. You still have time. You can still go back. You can still run back. Fully run back and just try to win gunfights. That's it.
So much utility
now it's too late.
Over the site. The spike is now going to go down at the hands of Delzik. It's going to be a straight up 5v5 here. Both operators still in play as well. You've got a flank.
Sage is detained.
Zeno.
This peak makes no sense from Azino. Oh my
But there
god.
was too much to look at. There were too many angles. Durka's able to take
And now they have no Viper Spit themselves. Like, oh my god, dude.
Spike ticking away. Numbers in favor of Fnatic, looking to push us to map 3. Have to take care of Crew here. They have to take care of Crew now. Fnatic creeping their way forward.
And Doma has his own wall. Like, that's GG. That's literally GG, right? Oh, he's on. Oh, now it's holding.
He may be able to do so. Magnum swinging out.
Kills.
But Delzic's able to keep things interesting, at least for now. But the defuse comes through. Fnatic get to the map. We're going to split.